Manila's hottest Monster RX93 with a track called Dancing in the Kitchen. And we are now live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch because Monsters, we got some pretty cool guests with us on air as well as online re-rams. Who do we have joining us in the chat today?
All right, guys, super exciting because we have with us today, of course, the team behind Lemons. So, of course, let's welcome all of them. You know what? Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Gabby Padilla and I play Bernadette.
Hi, I'm Nelsito Gomez. I play Oliver. I am also the director and part of the producing team.
Hi, I'm Miguel Jimenez, part of Jimenez Media and Stage Sessions, and I'm the executive producer of the show.
And I'm B. Jimenez. I'm the director and editor and camera.
Multi-hyphen.
Well, welcome to the show. The team behind Lemons. And for a lot of our monsters out there, wow, that's a lot of lemons. First of all, 5 lemons in that title. Let's talk about what it is. I mean, it's a production. So I guess Migs, as the director, can you tell us a little bit of history behind what is Lemons?
Well, so the Lemons is that's how we abbreviate it. Is a 90-minute, 80 to 90-minute one-act play by Sam Steiner, and it's a story that focuses on a young couple, Bernadette and Oliver. Bernadette is played by Gabby Padilla, and Oliver is played by Nelsito Gomez, and the story revolves around this young couple at a time where their government is experiencing a change in like a rule where the government will impose a rule called the hush law, where everybody is only allowed to say 140 words a day. So it's a non-linear play that brings people before the law is passed, where Oliver and Bernadette are talking normally, and after the law is passed, where Oliver and Bernadette have to abide by the 140 word limit. So it's their relationship.
Got it. I see. And actually, Nels, my mistake. It was Nels who's the director behind Lemons. My apologies on that. But Nels, and Gabby as well, since you're both in the theater scene, we got to talk about it. COVID. What was the effect on the theater scene? It must have been rough. Tell us maybe some stories about how you've kind of dealt with the lack of theater and how it's returning now.
I think this is... No, go ahead.
Please, no, Gabby, go.
Well, basically, this is how we're dealing with it. We're finding new ways and new mediums to tell stories. And I think it really dawned on Nell that the only way that he'll ever get to do anything this year is to adapt and to find a new way of telling this story. So a lot of the process was online. We were on Zoom a lot. A lot of our rehearsals were online, and I think we just met like 3 times before we shot it.
Yeah.
Tama ba? Yeah. But it was actually a smooth transition to the actual set because of the way Nell imagined it and directed it.
I see. So Nell, I mean, the way Gabby puts it, you've kind of been like you're like the mastermind behind all of this. Migs, Beach, would you say the same thing? Is Nell's the man that's making it all run smoothly?
Oh, definitely. Like they're like without Nell like leading the acting and theatrical part of it, this thing wouldn't have run. It's really, really hard and tough. Like even Gabby's role as Bernadette, if you watch it and listen to them speak, they're just so on point, and because the lines are very, very hard. It's like 90 pages of straight words that they both had to memorize. Yeah.
And numbers.
Yes.
Numbers. The numbers.
And that's awesome. 1 year. That's with 1 year out of the scene. Because theater hasn't been on. The theater hasn't been going on, and they were able to do it.
It's
That's
tough.
awesome.
It's hard because everyone, as soon as COVID happened, we're like we're exactly every restriction. We break all the restriction rules. We gather in public. We don't observe social distancing. Not to mention on stage, all our droplets are flying all over the place because of our spit and the touching and everything. So we are just like, we're safety hazard galore. So it is very hard for us to operate within this current world. But like I mentioned to Beach and Migs and Gabby, that we were able to create this project, and call me the mastermind or whatever, but I couldn't have done it without these three people beside me, and beside me digitally. And our watchword really was, we can get through this with a little faith and imagination, and that's what we did.
That's awesome. I mean, I feel like it's gonna be so interesting to see how you guys merge film and theater in one, and it's super interesting what this can do for the theater world as well. But I'm curious. I mean, lemons.
Yes.
How did this project come about? I mean, like, what made you decide to do this production in particular? Because it's a very interesting story. So what about it made you choose this production in particular?
It was a challenge.
I guess. Yeah.
But
Beach, please.
on our end, yeah, no, that's really what it was. On our end, it was a challenge, and it was something that, to echo Gabby, we have to adapt. We have to adapt in the times in COVID. So, really hybridizing film and theater by, finding an opportunity in this time of COVID to do something different. And when Nell called us and came up with a script, came with us with a script, we were like, hey, can we do this? Can we do this? Let's figure it out together, right? So, but yeah.
Awesome. And I was thinking when the way Migs described the synopsis of it, having X amount of words to say during the day, like that's the limit. If my understanding of the story is correct, so all the words that you memorize, each word really needs to have significant. Like, you cannot skip a word, right? You cannot miss a word, and you mentioned even numbers. So although you've kind of given us a little bit of a teaser of what the story is all about, I think a better a good way to kind of show our audience and our audience listening on air, to make them hear, because it's a very audio, it's a very audio-worthy thing where you're talking about words, just words. These words have meaning. These words have emotion. So we're gonna give actually Nell and Gabby a chance to kind of showcase what our audience can expect to hear when they watch the production. So how are you guys gonna do this? Because it's very it's very feasible for an audio. So how's it gonna go if you guys are gonna show us a little bit of a snippet of what the production is all about?
Well, we'll just go for it. We'll take one of the scenes in particular. I think a very important scene before the hush law was passed, before our words are limited. But it's a very important scene because it goes to show you that they're not listening to each other. It's a slice of their everyday life where they take their words for granted because they knew that it was just, the words were always going to be there. And it's a great parallel to when the law is passed. You realize they have very little words now to spare, so they should have taken those times a bit more seriously and a bit, and treasured them more.
Perfect. So we're gonna give you the floor, or I guess the internet space for those watching on live. But to all our listeners who are listening on air, here is Nelsito Gomez and Gabby Padilla. They're gonna do a little snippet from Lemons. We're gonna take ourselves out of the chat for now, and we'll give you the floor.
I saw Julie today.
Your ex? What do you want for dinner?
I don't mind.
I want burgers.
Burgers are fine.
Big old beef burgers with gravy and ketchup.
Just put a bit of weight on.
Julie?
Yeah.
I thought she went in Atkins.
It didn't work. But I was telling her about the stuff I've been doing recently. Playing with texture and instrumentation and stuff and polyphony. And she was saying she knows this lyricist who's pretty much the next big thing and could probably hook me up and find
when I was
B-roll.
younger, I thought songs didn't have words in them.
Bernadette, I was right in the middle of a story.
Oh, sorry. Carry on.
hate it when you do that.
I was enjoying it. Carry on.
Literally see you drifting off, and
I was listening. Julie's clever and loves carbohydrates.
there's always this moment with you when something I say makes you go, "Oh yeah, that sounds a lot like my life," and then you're off thinking about.
Oh, you're being unfair. That's really unfair now.
You used to think songs didn't have words in them.
Yeah,
That's stupid.
I was little.
So, what did you think they sang?
Vowel sounds, kind of like improvised vowel sounds in tune with I don't know, the rhythm, like wow wow.
But you knew words.
Oh yeah, I knew words, that there were words, and I was speaking them by then. I was speaking. I just didn't think that they were in
Songs. Right.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah.
You seem a bit serious today.
Sorry.
I'm sorry for not paying attention.
I'm sorry. I've been a bit serious.
Where'd you see Fat Julie?
What?
Julie, where'd you see her?
Oh, the supermarket. Just buying a falafel. And scene.
Nice. Wow.
Oh my god, that was amazing. I felt like a real conversation that I was like just being in on. Like I was like, wow. I was so like
I felt bad for Julie. She's trying to go on the Atkins diet. Man.
She just wanted a falafel.
And stay
Oh my
tuned.
God.
Julie plays a very significant part in our story.
Yeah.
So the person you never see, but very significant.
Mm-hmm.
that was amazing. But I do have to ask, how did you guys as artists or actors, how did you guys do this, like rehearse online? What was it more difficult? What made it, how was the whole experience of just rehearsing together online?
Me? You? Go ahead.
You.
Oh, okay. Well, as I mentioned, a lot of it was on Zoom, and we were both very scared because we hadn't done a play in so long. So we were kind of scared about the muscle memory and the lack of exercise that it's gotten. But also another thing that we were worried about was that I had to go and lock in for another shoot. So there was like a month where we couldn't meet, we couldn't rehearse. So it was really just homework and a lot of repetition, running lines with other people who were generous enough to help us out. And
Very generous.
Yeah, very generous. But yeah, it was just a lot of trust in each other, I guess. And in the process, trusting the process. Yeah.
It's tough to
and-
get into a certain level of emotional intimacy when it's on Zoom, because
Yeah.
ideally they're a couple and they've been together for a while. So everybody in a relationship, the feeling of, you just know. You know when they shift their weight in bed. When they're quiet, what they're feeling, the silences. All of that. So we had to speed that up in our process for Gabby and I to get to that kind of connection that Oliver and Bernadette would have. But that's why actually I chose Gabby for this project, because I know that she'll do it in within the confines of the time, and yeah, the rest is history now.
And Nels, I think you said something super relatable in the sense that, when we're at home and we're on a Zoom call, just like in a Zoom meeting, most of the time, admittedly, sometimes I'm not even wearing pants, for example. So I'm not like in the best frame of mind, right, to be in a meeting. So to do something where you really have to have your whole heart, mind, body, and soul, and you're doing it over the internet, and to produce something that I think is, obviously it's already obvious from your performance. It's fantastic. And, we can't wait to see it. And of course, Migs and Beach, who are also behind the scenes, behind the cam, as the guys who maybe weren't necessarily running lines, but were kind of trying to do everything remotely and making it feel as real and as post or pre-COVID, however you want to view it, as pre or post-COVID as possible. Migs and Beach, what is your, I guess, your final say on how you're making this kind of the way to give people theater and give
Good
theater
question.
again?
I think it's safe to say that we are still trying to figure it out. Like, we are in uncertain times, but we have something and it's beautiful and a lot of people should watch it, and a lot of people would probably hopefully learn from it and want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Bring a medium that is normally live and shoot it in a way that keeps the live feel of it, because what we really aimed here is to make it feel like theater, which is what I feel is lost in a lot of things that are shot in COVID times that are normally live. The feeling of theater, the feeling of being on stage, the feeling of being an audience, that is special, and we really wanted to keep that, and we hope that it translates to our viewers.
I love
and
that.
honestly, we're literally in the exporting area. We're in the studio. The film is still being processed as we speak, and we're taking it to the dressing room of one of the studios. So that's where we are today, and it's been how long has it been? Like 3 months of just constant nonstop work, where Gabby and Nell took the reins in the first half, and then when we actually shot it, Beach took the reins on the last half for post-production. And it really is a hybrid of film and theater, because you have like excellent theater actors and actresses, and someone who has he just graduated, and this is his first like rodeo into like the big.
Congratulations!
Yeah. Thing. So we're very, very proud of him, and hopefully we can do more. Yeah.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Everybody,
absolutely.
Nell and Gabby are amazing.
Incredible.
They're spectacular, and we watched it. We watched it a couple minutes ago, like the entire thing straight through, and my gosh,
Okay.
so hard. Especially that cheese grater line. That's my favorite.
Oh
line.
gosh.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of our monsters want to know what the cheese grater line is all about, and of course to see the I guess pun intended, the fruits of your label, or the lemons of your labor, right? So
Good one.
it's really cool. The team behind Lemons is going to be giving away a few tickets. We will be giving them out throughout our show throughout the week. So to all our monsters who are excited for this, we're going to tell you how to win throughout the week. So make sure you always stay tuned. But to all of you out there, to Gabby, to Nels, to Migs, to Bija, any final words? Maybe, of course, invite them to your show. But any words of hope for the theater, the future of theater, and the future of performing in the near future? Let us know.
What I say about buying a ticket to Lemons is not just buying a ticket for our project, but hopefully it's a ticket for the theater industry in the future. If this is something, a ticket for us is kind of encouraging us in a way, and it's saying that, hey, we're onto something good, and we can expand this to not just our circle of artists, but even more artists out there, whether visual, aside from theater, anything that it has a live component to it. So a ticket to Lemons is a possibility of prolonging the life of this project.
And Gabby, any final words? Migs, Beach?
And hopefully, if you like it, if you enjoy it, we hope that you can talk about it, share it with your friends, share it with your family. Not only is it something that we're proud of as theater practitioners, but the story is beautiful. It's an important message, and it's timely, and there's a lesson to it. So hopefully, if you like it, share it on social media and help us out. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, and we just echo everything that they said. It's beautiful. It's really interesting. The story. Okay, would you guys be able to survive in a world where you can only say 140 words? I know I would. Together.
Exactly. And then while we were watching it, we were really like stressing the point that Sam Steiner, the writer, was able to get into the minds of Oliver as the male character and Bernadette as the female character in that time. And it sort of reminded me of what couples were like during the COVID scenario, where you guys were sort of like trapped, right, in a condo, right, and it just there's a lot of learning that goes on between them. The story is brilliant.
It's very human.
And yes, exactly. I guess that's the word that wraps it all up. The story is very, very human. And yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Please watch. Shall we say the dates? Or
please. I mean, you're in the editing room. When is this all happening? And where can they catch it? Where can they, when they buy their tickets? How is it going to take place? Where can they watch it? And what dates?
So Lemons by Sam Steiner, produced by Jimenez Media, Cast, Tag, and Stage Sessions, will be on tickettome.net on July 17, 24, and 31 for 200 pesos. It's a 24-hour ticket. So it'll start at 7 o'clock, but then you get the ticket for 24 hours. And yeah, we hope you like it. We hope you watch. And thank you for taking the time, JC and Ria.
Thank you, Ria and JC.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Gabby, Nels, Beej, Migs, thank you so much. We hope to see you in the studio. Once everything goes back. We hope to see your next production. Have you on the show. And of course, Ria Rams, anything you want to say to end us here?
Yeah, no, we're super excited to see this production, and I'm sure all the monsters are. So once again, to all the monsters out there, if you guys want to watch, remember the dates that were mentioned: July 17, 24, and 31.
Yes.
All right. So again, 17, 24, 31. Mark your calendar. Save the date. Okay. Lemons is happening on those dates. Okay? All right.
You can get tickets as early as now. We started selling tickets actually a week ago. Was it a week ago?
Yep. 2 weeks ago, actually.
So you don't have to wait until the show dates to get the tickets. You can get them now. As soon as this finishes, you can get your whole family tickets. So do that.
Yes, go for it, you guys. And again, thank you so much to all of you for joining us here today. It was an honor even to see a snippet. We're all super excited for this production. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Go watch the show. And of course, we got to play you NERD and Rihanna with a song called Lemon right here on The Monster.
Monster exclusive. Monster exclusive interview only on Manila's hottest Monster RX 93.1.